right, well, first of all, congratulations to you, man.
Thanks,
I'm curious, you play 3 films, you play a character for this long, you have this much of an arc happening on screen. What elements of Christian are still with you now that you've wrapped? Like, what do you take from him into your own life?
I mean, I think you take a little bit of every character into your own life, or you learn something about yourself, I think, from every character you play. It's funny with Christian because, you know, it's such a big chunk of, you know, 3 movies, but in a way, it's been nearly 2 years since we finished, and it kind of feels mad to be sitting here talking about him now. But I don't feel like I think he's a character I've played that I'm furthest away from in my own life, you know. There's things I admire about him and his ambition and his prowess at work and what he's achieved and his charity work and all that stuff. I think it's really cool. I take something from that. But beyond that, I don't see myself anything like him, which is a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's probably fun to kind of go that far
Yeah,
into a
exactly.
character.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting to me because last time I did the Junket for 50 Shades Darker, I asked Dakota this question, and I find it so interesting that this is originally started as Twilight fan fiction, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, it is, man.
But I was curious, and this is totally hypothetical and just kind of a movie nerd question, but could you see a conversation happening between Christian and Edward Cullen? Like, if those two met, like, what would they? I mean, I know he's a vampire, but what would they talk about?
I don't know.
Because you know Pattinson pretty well.
Yeah, I do know him very well. I don't know. I'm going to try to set that up. Why don't I get back in the character and Rob can get back in the character and we'll do that. You can come and film it.
I will direct this. You guys have this on camera, right? We'll shoot it in film on 70 millimeter.
We should do that. That'd be funny.
Did you see Good Time was awesome?
Dude.
Wasn't that amazing?
And he's been robbed. I didn't mean that. That was a total mistaken pun. But like, I thought he should have been up for all kinds of awards for that.
Completely agree.
It blew my mind, to be honest, that film.
It was a departure. It was
Right from the start. Oh my God.
And the score was
Oh,
amazing.
stunning. Yeah.
You know, we're sitting in a pretty iconic place here in Paris, but you just told me something fascinating. Can you talk about what you just told me about, like about the hotel room one and also where we're shooting right now?
Yeah, so we're in the opera in Paris, and I had my first ever professional acting scene in this very building on Marie Antoinette with Sofia Coppola. My first day, literally my trailer was just outside that door, and yeah, my first ever scene, and then came back here 12 years later to film this, and had not only the same hotel, but the exact same hotel room that I'd stayed in when I did Marie Antoinette. So as much as you think your career sort of like goes here and then up a bit, and then but it's the same in the same hotel room 12 years later. But yeah, mad.
Now, last time I saw you, we talked about the 4x4, and I'm going to get to that. But I have a serious question first, though. Because I've always been fascinated by this. I'm watching the film, and obviously he has the scars on his body. And I think in Darker, there's the shower scene where she asks you about the scars, and you kind of like don't want to talk about it. But in the book, my wife was telling me it's actually cigarette burns.
Exactly, yeah.
I was curious how deep you went into that in your mind. Like, did you build out what happened to him in that exact scenario? Like, sometimes actors will kind of build stuff in. Did you build that out?
Yeah, a little bit. And I tried to sort of consider the sort of pain of that and what the touching of that represented, and try to tap into that a little bit. And online's amazing now for stuff like that, and you can on YouTube, even YouTube and stuff, you can find out old people. There's a whole like almost like a series or like a kind of like a mini documentary I watched about people with abuse and who had scars from abuse, and how they can't have certain materials on it, and also don't let people touch. So you can there's loads of stuff online now that you can tap into and get an idea of how someone touching it feels the exact same way as the sensation did when it happened, when the abuse happened. And that blows your mind that something can still affect you that many years later.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really interesting looking into that. Yeah.
Switching gears, obviously, to a completely different topic, but I mentioned that last time I saw you, because you were on Conan, like the night or two before. You talked about 4x4. I saw you. I went and got it. I literally, you almost killed me. That thing was so brutal.
Look at that.
So I honestly,
I like how small your head look. You just got text. I'll open it.
That's probably my wife. Is it my wife?
Is her name Lauren?
That's my wife. Yeah.
Should I reply?
If you want to, what'd she say?
You can't tell.
It's probably like a.
That's an amazing picture. So what did you say when you asked for it? Did you just go 4x4?
Well, I asked for the 4x4. I felt my arteries moving an hour or two later. But so now I have a recommendation for you.
Yeah, okay.
We're in Paris. You've seen the movie Pulp Fiction, right?
Of course.
So you know that they call the quarter pounder here the Royale with cheese?
Right, yeah.
That's my recommendation to you.
Okay.
You got to get the Royale with cheese.
I'm going to do it now, today. Can I go right now and do it?
Yeah. You got to go.
I'd love it.
All right, before I let you go, I asked Dakota this question as well. Her favorite scene in the film, she told me, the whole series, was the moment when she tells you she's pregnant and she's putting on the clothes in the closet as she's talking to you. Out of the entire series, this actually comes from a fan. What is your favorite scene in the whole 50 Shades series?
I think the negotiation scene in the first one.
Wow.
I just liked the way it was written. It was really punchy, and it was, cat and mouse, back and forth, and I just liked the way we shot it. And we did this thing where we tried to make us look with a sort of cheat of the camera and positions that we were getting closer and closer the further the negotiations went.
Oh, cool.
I just stylistically enjoyed that the most, and yeah, I think that was for me. And the dialogue and what we were talking about, and we had a couple of times we laughed a little bit at sometimes the content. But yeah, that was a fun day. I enjoyed that.
Cool. Well, Jamie, it's always good to see you, man. And go see Phantom Thread if you can. It's
I will die
awesome.
to, yeah.
I'm so happy you saw Good Time.